Hi, I'm Marcia Eckert,
And I'm Rob Bernstein.
and we're talking about getting through the holidays. And one of the things we thought we ought to talk about is that everybody we know, every neurotype, but particularly people who are neurodivergent, are often incredibly anxious about the holidays, incredibly anxious about the parties they might have to go to, incredibly anxious about gifts, incredibly anxious about just the entire experience of what is going to be happening. And that can get overwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, they're anxious about, I think, most social situations, school and so forth. But when there's an inherent pressure from family, the so-called excitement isn't see she isn't making them excited. It's making them anxious.
Right. And, so one of the ways that I think about going into something like holiday season is it's sort of like preparing for a 26-mile marathon. All right. You have to start in advance and you have to know what it is you're doing and almost go into training so that your self care better be good. You better pay a lot of attention to getting sleep, to eating well, to doing all the things that, take care of you, to doing any kind of self-care things that are like meditative, whether it's meditation or breathing or taking walks. But it's a really important time to sort of build up your emotional reserve, for starters.
If that works. See, I want to compare it to the Super Bowl, where there's so much anxiety. You talk to these players, they say they didn't sleep at all because they're so hyped up, they just can't sleep. And then when in the game, they're playing the game. They're okay playing the game. It's sometimes it's like this with these people on the spectrum. There's so much anxiety about the anticipation of the party, of the gathering. Once they're there, sometimes they're okay talking with their one friend for 2 hours or in some room. They could find their comfort zone. But the anxiety is enough for them not to go at all.
Right, right. And I mean, I think we can do both. I think we can kind of sort of build up our emotional reserve and kind of know at some level that when we're there, especially if we've planned what we're going to do when we're there, if we have a partner or we have somebody who is our wingman, who is going to kind of run, to use your Super Bowl, who's going to run interference, if that's the right words, to keep somebody away if they're really toxic, and to point you in the direction of the person that you want to be with, and sort of just make sure that what's happening is a safe space for you. So it could be, the whole idea of a plan. I mean, when they do the Super Bowl, they've got a game plan, right? And they execute the game plan. They've practiced the game plan. They know what they're going to do in certain circumstances, and that really helps.
And I love that idea. And also they can, along with the being prepared, they could visualize what it's like. And like, okay, that might calm them down. They can take a break. This is how it's going to be. And the anticipation is one thing, but if you visualize what it will be like, that might get them to actually go.
Right, and the taking a break and the visualization, or whatever kind of, whatever works for you, isn't just something that you do in advance. It's something you can do when you're there. So that I have one young woman I've worked with for a while, and we just sort of set it up that her parents wanted me to make it so she didn't get anxious at family parties, and what we did is we got it so she knew when she needed to take breaks, and she would get up and she would go out and take the time she needed and come back. And so being able to do that, making sure someone knows that that's an okay thing that you're going to do, so they're not saying, well, where the heck did he go? That's another really important thing.
That's good. It's knowing yourself and knowing what you need. It's
right.
The idea of self-advocacy. It's not an easy thing to know.
But it's helpful if you've let somebody know what your plan is or worked out your plan with someone in advance, so that there's someone who knows if you go, it's okay. And if, some uncle is going, well, where did he go? Just say, no, it's cool. He had something he had to do, and they kind of cover for you.
I like that. That's a real support system.
Right. So anyway, another of our ideas for holiday time, and we'll be back again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.